sparkly friends, this is Faerie, and I wanted to talk about a couple of things today. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm in the courtyard of the overlook house where my studio is, and there's some industrial sounds down below, so hopefully it's okay. But it's a beautiful day, so I wanted to come outside and talk about, first of all, one of my amazing, adorable, sweet customers gifted me these earrings. So she ties fairy hair. Her name is Gail, and she also makes these incredible fairy hair earrings, and I just wanted to show you how amazingly, just spectacularly glittery they are in the sunshine. I love them so much. They're so cute. And she actually gifted me 2 pairs. I'll show you the other ones too. I really like purple, so she made these purple ones. They're just stunning. They're so fun. I'm so tickled with these. So I wanted to show you guys. I'm just amazed with how clever and creative people can be. So I'll send a link to her website where you can order these if you want, or just look at her stuff. She's on the other side of the country from me. So fairy hair earrings, who would have thought? I remember some earrings way back in like the mid 2000s or so that were feathers that were like this, that would like kind of blend in with your hair, and now I'm thinking of all these things you could do like with different colors and different lengths to make these like even more fun. So I might have to talk to her about that. But there's my new earrings. But the other thing I wanted to talk about was that I get the question all the time of how I got started doing fairy hair, and or where it came from, where the strands come from, all of those things. So I'm gonna do my best to kind of summarize what I know and how I started, tell my story. Full disclosure. So I don't want to go back too far. Always loved fairies. Started attending festivals probably in about 2004. Started making wings around that time, and then so I want to say it was 2008 or 2009. I was at Fairy Worlds in Eugene. I think this was when they moved from the Secret House Winery to Mount Pisgah. And discovered Dancing Hands, who was tying fairy hair at the festival. So the first person I ever saw them on, this is maybe too much detail, was Amy Brown, who's a famous fairy painter, illustrator, and she has this beautiful strawberry blonde hair, and she had the Tinkerbell sparkles in there, and I was just like, oh, what is that? I have to have that. It's the most magical thing ever. Found Dancing Hands, and she was kind enough, so she had a little website going where you could buy a little starter kit like what I have on fairyhairsparkles.com. You could buy a little starter kit, watch her little tutorial video, and teach yourself how to tie it in. So my best friend at the time and I, Pixie, each got a starter kit, practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced. We really struggled for a little while, missing the loop. And then eventually got the hang of it. Dancing Hands, we actually emailed back and forth with Phyllis a little bit to ask for help, and eventually got it figured out and sparkled each other. And that was really supposed to be the end of it. We were just sparkling to sparkle. But as you may discover, once you start wearing it around, people start asking about it. They want to know where to get it. So Pixie started sparkling parties and stuff a lot. I had a full-time job at the time, so I wasn't, but eventually she transitioned over more into acting, and I took her clients and then was able to launch my own business. It took about 5 years to get going, to get enough people where I could actually work full-time do fairy hair. So the strands themselves, my understanding was, so I got hooked up eventually with Karen of silkshimmers.com, and my understanding from Karen, this is what I remember her telling me, was that she actually went to Thailand and discovered the silk based textile there, and people were tying it into hair, and she brought it back to the States. So I'm not sure when that was. That might have been like the early 2000s. I don't know, you'd have to ask her. But her website is silkshimmers.com, and I think she still is right now, she's the only person I know besides myself who still sells the original silk fairy hair. Everyone's been transitioning to the synthetics, as probably people have talked about. There's some polyester ones now that are on the market. They used to be really bad. There's some old knockoffs that were really, really bad, and like some people were just tying like nylon sparkly thread into people's hair. That does not stay. But in the last couple of years, there's some Chinese-made polyester strands that are actually pretty sturdy and hold up pretty well. I still prefer the silk, so I'm a stickler for that, and I've got my source for that is my website. You can buy them from me, or you can buy them from Karen. I think we're the last two, and she's switching over to fusion. She's got some fusion designs. I have to do that for some of my colors as well now, because the silk just isn't made anymore. So I hope that I have enough backstock to never have to transition completely away from silk, but right now I've got quite a bit, and I'm holding on to it for, you know, I don't know, I love the original strands. They're just softer and stronger and more durable than anything else I've ever found. That's just my experience. If we want to debate whether or not they're actually made out of silk, we can talk about that a little bit. I don't know, to be honest. This is how they were sold to us from Thailand. They were called silk there. That was how they labeled them, how they marketed them. If you look at the difference between the silk strands that's from Thailand and other strands, you can see that they have some qualities of silk. They're stronger, they're softer, they don't ever melt. Silk has a very, very high burn temperature, and it does not melt. So there's definitely some traits to the sparkle strands that we have that are silk, called silk, that seem to be silk-like. Obviously this sparkling coating isn't silk, right? Whatever makes them sparkly, obviously this kind of dye or print or however they do that isn't silk, obviously. So they're not going to be 100% silk. But I don't know. I mean, it's possible that there's some sort of blend. I don't have a spectrometer. I don't have access to one. I actually looked into getting them assessed at some point. There's some like lab that you can send them to that will tell you what your textile is, and it was like minimum $7,500 or something like that. So if you have $7,000 laying around, find out for sure what the base of these strands are. Have at it. But for now, I'm gonna trust that they're silk, or maybe silk composite of some sort, just because of those qualities of silk that they seem to have, and that's how they were sold to me. If they're not, then that's too bad. But I mean, really pretty much 99% of what you're gonna see out there is polyester anyway at this point. So yeah, so that's what I know about silk fairy hair, silk sparkles, where they came from, how it all started. I don't know who decided to tie a single strand of sparkles to a single strand of hair and how they figured out that that would work, and I'm so grateful that worked. And I'm not sure if it was Dancing Hands who discovered that you could use a little latch hook to make that loop even smaller and get even short hairs, so I'm super grateful for that too. I'm just like stunned and grateful every day that this is my work and this is what I get to do, so I hope that this is helpful. Feel free to ask questions. I want to be as open, as transparent as possible, always. And one other note I wanted to say is that Dancing Hands was just so incredibly encouraging and sweet when it came to Brandy and I sparkling, that the next year at Fairy Worlds, when we showed her what we could do, she actually gifted me 3 packs of sparkles and told us to like just go sparkle the world. And I've always taken that spirit and carried it forward, because in my experience, in my work, the more people who see sparkles, the more people ask about it, the more people want it, the more people like it. As far as I can tell, there's never going to be too many people doing it. I can't sparkle everybody who wants that. I wish that I could, but until I learn how to grow more appendages. I just have these 2 hands. So we need more sparklers in the world. I love spreading the sparkle love, as you know, and I don't consider any other sparkler to be competition. I think we all have our own gifts that we bring. We all have our own style. We all have our own access to our own communities, and I think just this, the more the better. A rising tide lifts all boats, right? So the more sparkles there are, the better it is for all of us, I think. So that's my opinion on that. So I hope this is a useful, helpful little tidbit for you. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking it out, and I will see you in the realm.